Good morning, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your breakfast. All right, good. How about a hand, for the people that did it? And if you noticed, all our city officials were doing the serving for you because they felt that if you served them in the course of the year in several ways in your wards, this would be a small way to thank you for your service and also to thank the veterans. So we appreciate their help. Thank you very much. Just so that I'll save time during the program, I'd like to acknowledge just a few people. First of all, our band director, Jeremy Withertree. The taps will be played by Alex Patton and Sophia Fantan. And those are just a few we'll announce now. So with that, we'll get our program. We'll ask everyone to please stand for the presenting of our colors.
And others.
Now we'll have George Fitzhenry, President of the Lynn Veterans Council, start with our Pledge of the Allegiance.
Right hand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for our national anthem. We call on Joe Noble, past national president of the Polish Legion of American Veterans, for the invocation.
Dear God, we ask you this morning to bless all who have served our nation so valiantly. Please remember those who have given so much that we may live in this land of the free. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
And now we'd like to bring to the podium the director of the Lynn Veterans Services, who has put this program together with his staff, Mike Sweeney.
I just want to say for everyone here, isn't it great to have Jim back? Come on.
he's as humble as he is good, because he'll always say that, you know, our staff puts it together, and I mean, anyone knows we wouldn't be able to do this without the hard work of the people in my office. I know Jeff works really hard at this. Mary's been doing this. Mary Cronin has been doing this forever. We wouldn't be able to do it without their work. But the vision of what we do on Veterans Day and Memorial Day, I'm proud to say, comes straight from Jim DeFilippo. When I first got this job, he taught me how to do these things. So I won't belabor the point other than to one more time say thank you, Jim, and welcome back. I hope everyone enjoyed the breakfast. Good? Okay. We're lucky, the food there from the Little River Inn was incredible, but what it really is we're trying to find a tangible way to say thank you to veterans who hear it all the time, but sometimes there isn't a lot of action behind the words, so we want to make sure that's what we do here in the city of Lynn. So thank you for coming down here. It really is great to be here, to see so many old friends and new. But I'm reminded of how many people over the years, I'm sure we all are, who have been to these events who aren't here today. It's a stark reminder that every day is a blessing. And few know that better than those who wear the uniform or have worn the uniform. President Kennedy is said to have remarked that as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. And those words ring especially true as we look out at this outstanding group of veterans that are here today. Today we honor the legacy of those who's lived by those words like honor, duty, and sacrifice. They have lived by the word loyalty. Loyalty to this great nation, and especially loyalty to the men and women serving next to them. Simply put, the men and women here today have chosen to stand for something greater than themselves, and they deserve our gratitude for it. And that is why we're here today, and why in Lynn I'm proud that we have the support of our local government and our state government to make sure that we can adequately say thank you to the veterans of this community. And I've often said, outside of being called a father and a husband, the greatest honor that's ever been bestowed upon me is the word soldier. And so that's what I'm asking all of you here to understand today, the veterans that are here today. Later on in the program, there'll be a salute to service. You see it on the programs. We ask you to come on up, say who you are, where you served, and in what branch. It may not seem like a big deal to you. You know who you are. But I can tell you from last year, there were a ton of people who came up to me who remarked that they didn't know that a certain individual was a veteran. And that's what this does. It reminds people, when you come up on stage and let them know you're a proud veteran, it reminds our community that we're not just some little thought of demographic. We're your neighbors, we're your friends, and we've helped build this community, and I'm proud to be a part of it myself. So ladies and gentlemen, with that, I want to again thank you for being here. Enjoy the program, and happy Veterans Day.
To get everyone kind of get their blood moving, we would like to start off the program with a drill presentation by both the young men and young women of the Junior ROTC Lynn Corps from Lynn English High School. Weren't they great as usual? This is like a 3-minute break because, like any show, we got a kind of a costume change act here where they're going to have to put their harnesses, meaning the cadets, their harnesses on for the various flags of the services that they're going to be bringing out for the next act. And it also gives the band an opportunity to get ready because when they're ready, we'll call them out. When they are, when you hear the song of the service that you served in, please be proud to stand up, salute, and salute your flag. We now get to our speaking part of the program. But before we do that, I'd like to introduce our non-speaking guests. And you'd be amazed to find out when you're back here setting up the speaking program, how many of these elected ladies and gentlemen are very unselfish because they've delegated a lot of their time by having certain representatives represent them in saying a few words this morning. So we have three speakers that will speak. The rest, as I say, we would like to acknowledge for being here this morning, for doing the work that you saw a lot of them do down at serving the meals, and for being at many of our affairs and functions for the veterans of this city. First of all, we have State Representative Dan Cahill, State Representative Brendan Creighton, State Representative Donald Wong, City Councilor at Large Buzzy Barton, City Councilor at Large Hong Net, City Councilor at Large Brian LaPierre, Ward 4 Councilor Richard Colucci, Ward 5 Councilor Diana Chakutis, Ward 7 Councilor Jay Walsh, School Committee members John Ford, Mary Carrasco, Lorraine Gately, and Gerard Nicholson. We will start off as we normally do with the mayor, and I'd like to call the mayor up at this time, Mayor Judith Flanagan Kennedy. Before the mayor speaks, I'd like to say a few words. First of all, on behalf of myself, but also as a veteran and on behalf of the veterans of the city. Since the mayor has been in office, there has not been a time we have not gone to her with various requests to help the veterans, and she has gone above and beyond in all of those situations to lend us assistance. As you all know, running our own homes are a difficult time in budgeting the money that comes through the door. The same thing applies to any city government office, and Lynn is no exception to it, and the mayor has done a great job on that, and we want to thank her very much. So whatever applause you give is certainly necessary, and again, I'd just like to leave again by thanking you very much for everything you've done on behalf of the veterans.
It's my pleasure. I want to say Happy Veterans Day to all of you who are here. And I want to say thank you to all of you who have served or who have a family member who has served. I know that veterans are created in various ways, and you have some people here who were conscripted into service, and you have others who volunteered for service, and we have still others here who did not serve in the U.S. military, and I'm speaking specifically about several Cambodian Army veterans who are here, who fought alongside the American troops and rendered assistance and support to them in Vietnam. So I really want to call them out and thank them. That was a tough place for our military to be. And thank you for helping them. I did not even know of the role that the Cambodian Army played until I learned so in the last 8 years, and maybe that's a new revelation for some of you in the audience here as well. One thing that binds all these men and women as a common trait is their selflessness. They were and are willing to go beyond themselves, to help others, and for a greater cause. And I know Memorial Day is a somber occasion where we don't forget that. But this is more of a celebratory occasion where we can smile and say thank you and truly show the appreciation that we have for all of those who have served. It was our pleasure to serve you today. And on behalf of the City of Lynn, I would simply say thank you for your service and happy Veterans Day.
Next on our speaking list, representing our state government, is Senator Tom McGee, and I'd like to call him to the podium to say a few words. He's probably been to as many of these affairs than anyone else in the room, because his dad for many years, as you know, was also a senator and Speaker of the House, and his dad also served in the Marine Corps and was at the Battle of Iwo Jima. So he's very much familiar with the veterans coming from a family such as that. Senator Tom McGee.
Thank you very much, Jim, and for the work you've done and for having you here today, and for Mike Sweeney. And I want to thank Mayor Kennedy for your words and for the work you've done over the years on behalf of veterans. And I want to thank all of you for being here today. My dad was a Marine, and one of the big days for him was November 10th, which is the birthday of the Marine Corps, so it was nice to celebrate that yesterday. And it is a day of thanking veterans, and I want to, on behalf of the state delegation, thank all of the veterans here today. This day is really about you and your families, and we all have family members or friends or neighbors that served, and some, as I think Mike said earlier, that we weren't aware that they were serving, because I know when my dad came back, he didn't talk a lot about his service that he while he was in the Pacific during World War II. But he talked about the pride in being a Marine and the pride in being able to represent this city, but more importantly this country, as a member of the armed services. And that's the pride that I know all of you carry today, and I want to thank you for your service and thank you for being here. And I think the best part of this service today is that you'll be able to come up, get a pin, be part of this ceremony, because really it's about all of you and the sacrifice and service that you selflessly came forward, served your country when we were in need, and I want to thank you all for that, and I thank you for being there. And again, on behalf of the delegation, thank you all for your service. Thank you.
Our last speaker is the anchor of the veterans in this city, and by an anchor I mean not the kind you throw overboard and it sinks. This guy is as strong as a rock when it comes to Veterans Affairs, and that's why he's the City Council Veterans Chairman and also a veteran himself. And I'd like to call on our last speaker, Ward 6 Councilor Peter Capano.
Thank you, Jim. I want to thank Mike Sweeney, the staff, students, junior ROTC, the band, everybody that helped put this together today. Welcome to today's ceremony, and thank you for attending. I'm honored to be speaking here with you today on such an important occasion. We're here today to honor our service members and to remember their sacrifices they have made and the courage it takes to defend honor, duty, and country. Famous writer once said, "Valor is stability, not of arms and legs, but of courage in the soul." We're here today to honor our heroes, to remember their achievements, their courage, and their dedication, and to say thank you for their sacrifices. Thinking of the heroes who join us in the group today and those who are here only in spirit, a person can't help but feel awed by the enormity of what we encounter. We stand in the midst of patriots and the family and friends of those who have nobly served. The service members we honored here today come from all walks of life, but they shared several fundamental qualities. They possessed courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty, and integrity, all the qualities needed to serve a cause larger than oneself. Many of them didn't ask to leave their homes to fight on distant battlefields. Like the mayor said earlier, a lot of people ended up in the service for different ways. Many didn't volunteer. They didn't go to war because they loved fighting. They answered the call to be part of something bigger than themselves. Ordinary people who respond in extraordinary ways in extreme times. They rose to the occasion, the nation's call, because they wanted to protect the nation which has given them and all of us so much. Thank you to all that have served our great country. On behalf of the City Council, I want to thank you all for attending here today. God bless you all. God bless this great country. Thank you very much.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Right now is my favorite part of the program. The Lynn High School Band is going to play the Patriotic Medley. And as that's going on, what I would ask is that any veteran in the room, please go to your left, my right, and line up. And we're going to come on up on stage. The mayor is going to present you with a commemorative pin on behalf of the city as a veteran. So while the song's playing, please line up. And then what we'll do is, as soon as they're done playing, that's when you bring you up on stage, and one at a time, you're going to come up right where I am right now. And if anyone was here last year, for example, I'll start it off. Mike Sweeney, U.S. Army, Afghanistan. And so take this opportunity to listen to some good music, line up, and you'll see the cadets are over there from Sergeant Major Lynn English ROTC to help you get lined up. Thank you very much.
It is a good morning. My name is Alphonse Ferreira. I'm a chaplain, and also I was in the Marine Corps during the Vietnam War.
James Filippo, I was in the 44th Ordnance Battalion attached to the 8th Army, spent 15 months in Korea.
George Fitzhenry, U.S. Navy, Naval Supply Detachment, Pacific, Vietnam.
Hi, I'm Scott Thibodeau. I was in the Army, and I was an E3. Thank you.
James Raftos from Lynn. I was the 3rd Armored Division over in Germany, 1977 to 1980. And my father, Peter Raftelos, World War II.
My name is Preston E. Thompson. Served in the United States Army, 3rd Armored Division, 23rd Engineering Battalion, Hanau, West Germany.
James Smith of Lynn, Korea, 1952 to 1954.
Jim Marriott, United States Army Airborne Special Forces.
Barry Ridlon, USMC, Far East, 51 to 56.
Ernest C. Salkins Jr., 2nd and 3rd Field Artillery, Bootsbach, Germany, U.S. Army.
James Lyman, U.S. Army, 1st Battle Group, 9th Infantry, Fairbanks, Alaska.
George Esri, served in the Navy, Seabees, in the Pacific, Second World War. I would also like to honor my 2 brothers who are deceased, Roy T. Esri in the Navy, and my brother Ernest Esri in the Army. Thank you.
Dennis Treese, U.S. Army for 30 years, combat wounded in Vietnam. Also did service in Saudi Arabia and Bosnia and a lot of other places. Pleasure to be here. Oh, and today's my 69th birthday.
That's my husband. I don't know how to follow that. Eleanor Fisher, U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, Lieutenant, part of crew, patrolling Boston Harbor.
Good morning, Manny Alcantara, served with the United States Marine Corps 2007 to 2011 with 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines in Iraq 2008 and 2009.
My name is Sui Ma. I was in the U.S. Army through Italy, the 88th Blue Devil Army Division.
name's Carolyn Casio. I was at the 2852nd Air Base Group in McClellan Air Force Base, California. Hospital Squadron, Loring Air Force Base, Maine.
My name is Barbara Sutton. I served in the regular U.S. Army, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I also served in the Reserves and the National Guards.
Hi, my name is Brenda Gibb. I was a medic in the U.S. Air Force, joined the military to see the world, and they sent me to Loring Air Force Base in Maine. Thank you.
My name is John Pellerin. I was in the Army, and we received orders to go to Los. And what happened is I was the organist at Fort Belvoir, and they recalled me back. And I really wanted to go there, but God didn't want me. Thank you.
Silvio Scaglione, 82nd Airborne Division, Korean War. And I want to honor my brother Peter, who served the Pacific during World War II.
I'm Kenneth Waters, served the U.S. Army. I'd like to say my father served in the Army Air Corps, World War II. I also have 3 sons in the Army, stationed in Kuwait, Iraq, and Afghanistan.
Mitchell Ramones, 8th Air Force, U.S. Army Air Corps. Thank you.
John Magro, 14th Air Force, Flying Tigers, China, India, World War II. Thank you.
Dan Sharab, United States Marine Corps. Proudly served in Vietnam.
Sergeant Kenneth Geese, served 79 to 2004, Operation Enduring Freedom, Iraq Freedom.
Neil LaFleur, United States Army, North Korea.
My name is Joseph Souza, and I proudly served in the U.S. Army, and I'm a naturalized citizen now.
My name is George Kangas. I was in Vietnam, 68, 69. I was a medic.
Ken Somish, USMC, 3-3, Iraqi Freedom.
Jim Landa, U.S. Navy. I'm still in touch with some of my old crew members, in fact. So glad to be here. Glad to enjoy this fine day.
Bob Mathias, U.S. Navy, Cold War, 70s, North Atlantic, Black Sea, Mediterranean.
Bob Anderson, 98th Fighter Squadron, Europe.
Paul Camo, U.S. Army Chemical Staff Specialist, Dugway, Utah.
Charlotte Bell, U.S. Air Force.
James Bell, United States Air Force, 1950, 1952, 54 in Korea. Thank you.
On behalf of the families of the veterans, I want to thank the City of Lynn for honoring their sacrifice to the United States. I have a father, brother, and son in the U.S. Navy.
Tom Salvi, U.S. Marine Corps, Vietnam.
Bruce Manley, Vietnam Amphibious Assault, 4 tours.
Brian Patton, U.S. Army Reserve, 85 to 93.
My name is Lenny Atkinson. I served in the Navy, World War II, and I served on the USS President Adams as an attack transport in the major invasion of Bougainville. Thank you.
Good morning, Tony McElvenna, 25th Division, Army, Korea, 52-53.
My name is Bob Hartshorn, United States Navy Submarine Service, Vietnam.
Mike Committer, United States Navy, retired. Did active duty on the USS Boston, USS Vogue in 1965 to 1968. In 1968 to 1989 was with the U.S. Navy Reserve, MIUW, which is Mobile Inshore Undersea Warfare Group, out of Deer Island, Lawrence, and Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is John O'Keefe, U.S. Navy, Korean conflict. Also, the brother of the late James O'Keefe, served occupation forces, U.S. Army, Tokyo, Japan, 1946 and 47, serving the staff of General Douglas MacArthur.
Michael Scherer, 15 years, Fort Bliss, Texas, and also the National Guard and Army Reserve.
Morning, Suzanne Riley, U.S. Army, Vietnam era, personnel in Frankfurt, Germany.
Carlos Colon, United States Army veteran, Vietnam. I'm here to honor my grandfather who was served in World War II, who was sunk in the Atlantic, going over to Russia for supplies.
Basil Manius, United States Army, 3rd Infantry Division, Korea, Tank Commander. Al LeBlanc. My mother and father had 6 sons. They all served in the service. I was on the USS Missouri.
My name is Charlie Scalata. I served in Korea in 1950 with the U.S. Army. Thank you.
I'm Vinnie Power. I served in World War II with the 24th Infantry Division in the Pacific. Then later, I was recalled to Korea in 1950, and I served with the 1st Cavalry Division. Thank you.
Richard Nadwani, U.S. Navy, 51 to 54, and I was stationed in the submarine base, New London, Connecticut.
Alfred Blago, Korea, Air Force, 50 to 55.
My name is Bobby Richardson. I served in the United States Army from 1947 to 67. I'm a career vet and a Vietnam vet. Thank you.
Don Parker, Vietnam, 1st Cav.
Dan Scottina, Marine Corps, World War II, occupation of North China. Happy birthday to all you Marines out there.
Name is Ross Gilchrist, U.S. Navy. I was first assigned to Submarine Corps with Sub-Squadron 6 in Cuba, and then followed up with Vietnam era. That was basically it. See ya.
My name is Chanthon Peng, Cambodia, in the Army 1969 to 1975.
My name is Sum San, Cambodia. I served 1970 to 1975 the Vietnam War.
So my name is Remy Porter. Served in 1972 to 75.
Harry McCabe, U.S. Air Force, Military Airlift Command.
Robert Hines, United States Marine Corps, 2001 to 2005.
My name is Don Fahey. I'm from West Lynn originally, and I served in the Marine Corps with 7th Combat Battalion and the Korean Marines, 2nd Blue Dragons.
George Collins, Navy, Vietnam.
My name is George King. I'm retired from the United States Army. I was in it for 20 years. I was in Korea, 50 with my division, and I was in Vietnam later on as I got older. Thank you.
I'm here on behalf of my husband, Peter LaPierre, who's recuperating from open heart surgery, and he loves wearing these pins on his hat. Peter LaPierre, Vietnam veteran, 1968, 69, and 70. Thank you.
My name is Peter Tuttle, retired Navy Hospital Corpsman Chief, FMF, K-31 in Vietnam, and then 4th MAG in reserves. I wrote something the other night after watching the news. The American flag is a symbol of freedom for all people from 1776 to World War I and World War II, and many little wars in between. Men have carried our colors to death. Korea and Vietnam are not popular wars, but men carried the colors to the end. The Middle East continues this honor by men and women in a new battleground, new rules, but still, it did not stop them from carrying our flag forward to meet their maker. Freedom was earned by over 50,000 men in Vietnam, a couple of million in the world wars, 30,000 or so in Korea, and a few hundred in the Cold War. Now, we are fighting the war on terror. The flag still goes forward, our country's flag, your flag, the flag that covered HM3 Hand and HM3 Morris on their trip home. The same flag presented to the loved ones at the grave of Americans, the grave that gave all you the freedom not to respect our flag. Freedom was earned. God bless America.
My name is Ralph Bryshard. I served in the Navy 24 years, and God bless America.
My name is Norman Kitchell. I'm a Korean veteran. I love this.
I, Jim Moorcroft, U.S. Marine Corps, 1961 and 1965, Present Treasurer, GAV Chapter 64. Happy birthday, Marines. Nice day, veterans. Glad to see you.
My name is Marie Hope Smith, and I'm speaking on behalf of my husband, who should have been here today, and he was a veteran now. He served from 73 to 74. His name is Frederick Smith. And I also speak on behalf of my father and my grandfather and my brothers who served the Marines, the Army, and the Navy. And the other one was the Air Force. And in fact, I'm glad to be alive to speak on behalf of all of them, and I love America.
Dave Campbell, 1980 to 1984, U.S. Army.
We'll now ask everyone to please stand for a moment of silence as we give taps. Today,
as you know, is the day that we honor the living veteran. I underline living veteran. But there's never a ceremony that we run that we do not remember those who gave their lives for the freedom of this country. And with that, we ask that taps are played for those men and women who gave their lives, and we honor them by saluting them with taps. Thank you. Uncover or salute.
Breathe and over. Every color.
Two.
Right, right. Over, over.
I'd like now to call on Father Ralph for our closing prayer. Please uncover.
I'd like to share my gratitude for what the city of Lynn has done. And for all those military men that have come here, for all of you who have come here, this has been a blessing. So I ask the Lord to continue to bless our city, to each one of us here, so that we may be one in union with peace on earth and goodwill toward humanity. Therefore, I ask the Lord to bless us and to keep us safe and make this nation the nation it is and will be. In the name of the Father, and the Son, the Holy Spirit, amen. Again, thank you.
Okay, let's end today's affair with a big round of applause and join Gail in God Bless the USA.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I've worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my family by my side, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, from New York to LA, well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. That I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Thank you for coming, and remember, support your veterans.